Hello, welcome to today's video. We are on page 29 of Keyboard Musicianship, Book 1. Today we are identifying the intervals in our pieces here, breezing along, and then side-by-side thumbs. So the intervals in bar 1 for breezing along, the right hand, and bars 3 and 4, and then bar 1 for the left hand. We want to identify these intervals before playing. Go ahead and place your right hand there in F position because 3 is on A. Looks like a bunch of thirds. And then this interval here looks like a second. Okay? Always be aware of what the interval is when you play. And that will help you be able to play a lot easier. And so these intervals here are fourths. Okay? Let's go ahead now and clap the rhythm. Here we go. Both hands on our lap. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, rest. Excuse me. Okay, so let's now go ahead and talk about playing the breezing along. The hands seem to be taking turns mostly. There are moments where the hands do play together, such as the first bar. Let's go ahead and place our hands in position. The left hand is in G position there. Please be prepared for those B flats there for both hands to be played with finger number 3 and finger number 4 for the right hand. Here we go. Alright, so as we can see, the melody starts off in the right hand and the slur transfers into the left hand. So please remember that when you transfer from F to C, from the right hand to the left, that the slur and the legato sounds between those two notes as well, because we want to connect this melody from right to left. Here we go. As we play the second in the left hand, let's say our note names in the right. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. A, C, A, F, C, D, C, A. And then a lift, G, fourth, B flat, fourth, C, fourth, fourth. Okay, notice that the melody from the left to the right, as it goes back and forth, is within a slur, so it is to be played legato. This is kind of like 2-note slurs, but between the hands for 2 measures. Let's go over that again. Actually, let's go on to the next measure, or excuse me, the next system, since it is pretty much the same. Okay, here we go. Once again, starting with both hands together. 1, 2, second system, go. A, C, A, F, C, D, C, A, lift, G, fourth, C, fourth, 2, 3, rest. Now, one thing you need to keep in mind when going from the second to the last measure, you're going from a fourth to this little chord here, and this chord has an add 9, which means it has a second. Okay, so what we want to do is we have our fingers 1 and 4 down for F and B flat, and without lifting the hand, we want to simply bring fingers 2, 3, and 5 down as soon as we let these ones go. So it's like we're going like this. Watch this. So we have these down, and these 3 come down. So down, down. They're taking turns. And that's how we achieve a perfect legato. As opposed to, see, that has this little space of silence. We don't want that space of silence. We want it to smoothly go from one to the other. And see if we can bring them all three down at the same time. If you need to lift the wrist, that should provide a little bit of a thrust to allow the weight to come down together. Let's go ahead and listen to that once again all the way through. We're at forte, and then the next two measures are mezzo forte. Let's listen and hear the dynamic contrast. Here we go, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. There it is. Okay, let's now go on to the next part, side-by-side thumbs. It says here, you will note that thumbs will be side-by-side, in other words, a second apart throughout this piece. Practice shifting to each new pattern by blocking the fifths in each measure. The final bar will require special attention, and we'll get to that point when we get there. Okay, so as they were mentioning, it's mostly just playing in fifths like this. We have, this is a fifth here, this is a fifth here, and then this is another fifth. It does move sometimes by step, but it also does move by skips. So it says practice playing each fifth within each measure blocked, which means we play them together. And then we go to the next one. And so we're just practicing going from one to the other by fifths. And so the very end there does require a thumb slide. This is mostly an organ or a synthesizer technique to allow for the legato to be perfect. So once we have practiced blocking these fifths, try to do it without looking at your hands. And as you can see, the thumbs are a second apart. They're kind of touching each other. Can you play each fifth without looking at your hands? Practice seeing if you can do those without looking. If you need to look, go ahead and do so, but eventually, the more you practice, the easier it will be to jump from one section to the other without looking. Okay, and once you've done that, once you're comfortable playing each of these blocked, go ahead and break them up. Make sure that each measure is legato. Okay, at the end of the legatos or slurs, don't forget to add your lift. Here we go, placing our hands in the first section. We are moving about, so be prepared, please. 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice that the last two measures are slurred together, so make sure that happens. You may have noticed also that as soon as I finished with my left hand, even while I was playing with my right hand, I went ahead and placed my left hand over the area that I was going to be playing for the next measure. That would require that you expand your horizon or your vision, to look ahead to see what is to be played while playing in the right hand section. So you have to kind of look ahead. As a pianist, this is very essential to not allow your vision, your sight of vision or your little area of where you're looking to just be stationary on one measure. You have to be able to not only look here, but look ahead while looking over here. And this is a concept that needs to be practiced. Just go ahead and look here, and are you able to, with your peripheral vision, to see what's in the next measure? Practice doing that every now and then, because a pianist always prepares. And that's one way we can prepare, by expanding our horizon of vision. Let's go ahead and practice this one more time, and then when we get to the end, we're going to talk about the finger sliding. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. You may notice that I'm sliding my fingers out a little bit to allow for the smooth legato sounds. Making it smooth. Here we go. This is all legato. Okay. Now, when you do the finger slide, it's with the thumb. You play that B with the tip of your thumb. Then you slide onto the knuckle, the side knuckle of that same thumb, allowing it to still remain pressed down, leaving the tip free and exposed. And then when you do that, you touch the A, and you then lift your hand up by the wrist to bring that thumb tip down onto A. Let's practice that again just with the thumb by itself. You play B with the tip, and the wrist is up. Then you bring the wrist down. The side knuckle of the thumb is now holding it down without letting it go. You may have to go back and forth just to practice that. Down, up, down, up, down, up. Practice each part. Tip, knuckle, tip, knuckle, tip, knuckle. And when you're at the knuckle, make sure that the key does not come up. And then it's allowing the tip of the thumb to touch the A. And very quickly, as you let go of B, bring down that A with the wrist coming up. And that is how you do a thumb slide. Let's practice it with the intervals. Bringing the thumb down to the knuckle, still holding on to this E here at the same time. It is tied, and then bringing up that knuckle, bringing up the knuckle and the wrist while bringing the tip down onto A. Okay, are you able to do this with all fingers playing at once? And remember, it is to be played for 2 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can actually do it on the counts. So practice that every day, please. When you are comfortable, both hands together. Please use your metronome, and we will see you next lesson.